Hello and welcome to this week's Minor Region Top 10 Power Rankings, where I cover the top 10 teams in the minor regions utilizing an algorithm based on stats from their games. I do not watch the minor regions play. The fact that I watched 3 CBLOL games yesterday does not really help me all that much with a power rankings like this. But if you are a fan of the CBLOL, I did go over Furia, Pain, and Red Canids in a video yesterday. But top 10 teams, we have a lot of PCS influence this week. I mean, a ton, as the PCS kind of takes shape coming down the stretch here. 3 regions not represented in here. They're top teams. Latin America's top teams, Austral Esports, is 12th. Turkey's is 14th in Nasser Turkey Esports. And Vietnam's top team is Saigon Buffalo now, as they try and figure out who their top team's going to be, because Vietnam is all over the place right now. Like, somebody's telling me most of their teams are utilizing more than 5-man rosters, and it is a complete fiesta to determine what's going on there. So Saigon Buffalo are the 22nd ranked small region team. That's because literally there is no team separating themselves in Vietnam right now. Completely different than spring, when GAM Esports literally was arguably in contention to be like, oh, are they like a really, really, really good team? Like, not only like minor region, like, are they good enough to like be competitive against the big dogs, you know? In this split, they're not even all that competitive in their own region. So Vietnam is 22nd right now. For the complete list of, I believe, 63, might be 62 teams, it'll be on the Discord. But nevertheless, 10th place, Pain Gaming. Pain Gaming from CBLOL. Last week they went 1-1 and now are 11-3. Oh, that was not a P. I watched a little bit of action with them. Like I said, I watched their game against Furia Esports. Damage went. Their best player from last week was Damage, going 1-2-16. He is their support. I watched him play, and honestly, I thought Damage looked really good. I think that, like, in the games that I saw, his Nautilus was very good. Obviously, Nautilus is a champion that a lot of supports play, so really, what's the skill cap on it? But he was hitting all his hooks. Their bot lane was determining who won and lost the game in the games I played. So as of right now, Pain Gaming, 10th place in the minor region power rankings. 9th place, Singoku Gaming. 2nd place in Japan. Coming off of their break, they went 1-1. Now 11-1 on the split. They lost to Detonation Focus, who's still got to go on this list eventually. Singoku Gaming star player last week was out once, going 3-2-7 in the jungle. I'm going to be honest, Singoku Gaming's stat lines were not that great this past week, going 1-1, losing the way in which they did. So 3-2-7 was the best score line. I think Vital went 8-6 and something, maybe 8-6-10. So I didn't include him. But, as Detonation Focus takes a stranglehold on Japan, this is not a surprise that somebody may, fall to the wayside as a result. But they've had a really good run, being 11-1. You can't take anything away from them. 7th place is Deep Cross Gaming. The first of what will be 5 PCS teams on this list. As they just dominate, their top teams continue to separate themselves in their own region. And I mean, the PCS is considered the best region of the minor regions. That's why their stats don't get nerfed as much as everybody else's. Now they're 9-3, 3-0 last week. Leaky and top lane went 24 3 and 20. So, Deep Cross Gaming, Leaky, like I said, 24. Oh, Jesus, Christmas. Holy crap. 24, 3 and 20. Had 8 kills in all 3 games. His Mordekaiser went 8-0-0, I believe, against PSG. They beat, I think, PSG and JTeam this past week. You can look it up. Maybe I'm wrong. It's possible I'm wrong. But they went 3-0. And they have really risen up the charts as a result, 9 and 3. They've been on this list before this season. As really, the PCS is pretty wide open this split. At least based on these records. I know Meander is probably chomping at the bit to... Oh, why'd I do that? Oh, I screwed up. Oh, geez. Well, shoot. Shit, I screwed up. I put an arrow on here, and I actually honestly have an arrow on here, and I still screwed up. So, you're going to see something. It's going to be kind of funny. I had an arrow because I had misread my... Sorry, that eraser hit that. I misread my algorithm. So, Deep Cross Gamer actually 6th. So, if you cheated, if somebody's cheating and they're waiting to see, oh, that's the order or whatever without actually watching the video, they're going to find out that they were wrong, that Deep Cross Gaming was not 8th, they were 6th. Who was actually 8th was CTBC Flying Oyster, another PCS team. Arguably the weirdest name out of anybody in the, in league. Unicorns of Love is weird. Unicorns Sexy Edition is pretty freaking weird, but Flying Oyster's pretty damn weird. It's probably some sort of like restaurant chain or something. I don't know. So, Koala is the star player for CTBC Flying Oyster. Koala went 3-1 and 36 in the support role. They are utilizing multiple different 80 carries. This past week they used Shun in the first and third game and Alton in the second game. So I don't know what's going on with that, but Koala kept them both alive in all 3 games. So they end up being MVP. 8th place in the power rankings. 7th place is the top Brazilian team. Faria Esports in CBLOL. I screwed up my whole damn board this time around. I didn't include PCS on either one of those. Hopefully folks were listening, I guess. 12 and 2 on the split and 2-0 last week. Furry Esports continues to pace the Brazilian League. Envy in mid would go 10-2 and I believe 10-2 and 11. So, the 3-horse race at the top of the order for CBLOL. Faria Esports look like a complete team. But apparently, based on the scouting reports I'm getting, they are a team that performs this way in the regular season often and then falters in the playoffs, so we'll see what happens. But as of right now, they're looking pretty good. 5th place, the top Japanese team, the team that goes to Worlds year in and year out, Detonation Focus me. Like I said, they beat Singoku Gaming this week. They're 11 and 1, and their star player was Yahorung in mid lane, going 14-0 and 10. We saw a lot of interesting things out of this team at MSI. Between Steel playing very well, arguably one of the better junglers in the tournament. I believe I had him on my list of top junglers when it was all said and done. Very good player. Oh, why didn't... Jesus Christ. you know, you can tell I'm all over the place. I don't even have, didn't even write the damn score down. This video is definitely unedited, if you didn't notice. Very good top to bottom, this team. Always competitive at international events. I mean, sometimes they finish low in the rankings like they did at MSI. That kind of just goes to show, though, how good these teams are, because I based my algorithm off of MSI finishes, and they have 2 representatives up here. You know, TCL and Latin America struggled. That actually says a lot about Vietnam, because Vietnam I have below the PCS. They're above all these other regions, and it just shows how all over the place it is that they can't get a team up here. In my algorithm, that's all about, like, how are you versus the rest of your region? And then use that relative to how regions face up against each other. 4th place, dropping a few spots this week, are JTeam. So, JTeam are starting to really struggle. I feel like they're not going to be in the top 25 this week either. 8-4, went 1-2. Oh, another marker fell. Uniboy and mid lane went 12-8-12. So Uniboy 12-8-12. JTeam, I think they're the first team on here to have a losing record, honestly, throughout the whole time I've been doing this. But that kind of just shows all the stats they've accumulated already, that if they lose a couple games, they're still up here. It also helps that all the PCS teams are playing each other and beating each other, so, you know, not being hurt all that bad. Your wins are solid, your losses are small. In the other regions, teams are struggling to vie for the top spots. So, as of right now, like, JTeam are starting to go down, but I imagine he'll turn it around. I believe they're still jockeying with 2 different top laners. So they have to figure that out, I think, before they actually take the next step. Because, I mean, shoot, they're fourth. Okay, I actually had to bend down to get these because I need this one. I need the black one. So, 3rd place, Frank Esports. This is the weird one from the PCS. 7-5. Their wins are big. Their losses are small. In kills and various other stats. 2-1 last week. YSKM in top lane was dominant once again. 18, 9, and 14. I believe they had a 10-kill game, like, very dominant. This isn't the first time that YSKM has been up here on this board. It seems that when Frank does well, he's doing well. 7-5, like, it's kind of crazy, because you say, oh, well, geez, they're 7-5. Rather, second guy, 8-4, couple 9-3s here, and it's like, because their wins are big and their losses are small. Like, I mean, that is what it is. It's the way they're playing. We'll see what happens in best of 3s, best of 5s in the playoffs, but right now they're playing pretty solid League of Legends. I mean, they're all beating each other. I mean, Oyster and Deep Cross are 3-0, but these top guys were beating each other. So it's all getting closer in the PCS right now. 2nd place is PSG Talent. PSG Talent dropping down from the 1st slot because they went 2-1 last week. Now, I believe 10-2 on the season. Gory and mid went 13-2 and 16. I believe Gory had a 9-kill game on Friday, perhaps, to kind of set themselves up for the whole week. But 2-1, 10-2. I imagine there is still be in the top 25 tomorrow. I mean, it remains to be seen. We have a couple teams tomorrow that are playing that are in the top 25. But as of right now, I mean, PSG continue to top the charts in the PCS, but it's all getting closer. Like I said, we got 5 teams in here, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 6th, and 8th. So it's all really close in the PCS. The top team taking back their spot. They had it before everyone started playing, because Australia started playing before everyone else. But Chief Esports Club continues to put up a historic winning streak. I mean, you can say, oh, well, it's a minor region, and it is. So I'm not comparing it. I'm not comparing their record to like T1s of last split or something. But you do have to put respect on the fact that this team has went 36-2 this year in the regular season, best of ones. 17-0 this split in best of ones. It's impressive. It really is. Like, they've really separated themselves as the top smaller region team, and I'm interested to see how they do internationally, because the LCO couple splits ago, not even a couple splits, but a couple of years ago, were very competitive at in MSI and Worlds. Like they actually put up a fight. So I hope this team can do the same, because honestly, it's played lights out. It's played lights out League of Legends, has not missed a beat throughout the whole entire split, and that's a big deal. Unlike these other teams that are finding ways to lose games, Chief Esports Club continues to find ways to win games. But that's that for the minor region power rankings. If you are a fan of the minor regions, comment down below with your take on your region, or, you know, the teams on this list. I mean, like I said, all I see are the stats. I don't see how the game transpires and all that. So if you want to fill me in, go right ahead. Also, in the description, you'll see a Discord link. Go to the Discord if you want to. We have a betting channel on there, as well as a regular general chat that we talk about the games in. And my Patreon is for legal esports gambling and fantasy football projections, NFL football, and things like that. So if that sort of stuff interests you, go there. And thank you for watching.